You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts.
All right, Black and White Sports supporters. Well, we're going to do a follow-up here on Adam Silver's remarks he made on the Today Show the other day about the WNBA negotiations. Of course, the CBA. It is time for a new CBA. The deadline is actually Halloween, October 31st. It's not going to get done. It's not going to get done. They're going to have to do some kind of extension. And he made comments. This was the morning of the NBA starting. He was asked about the W right here. And I did this video the other day. Let's listen. This is a 30-second clip.
Here, WNBA, as you know, they're calling for players in the WNBA are calling for more money. They 9%, I believe, accordingly. They get 9% of total revenue compared to roughly 50% of the revenue of NBA players. Should they be getting a larger share of the revenue in the WNBA?
Yes. I mean, I think the share isn't the right way to look at it because there's so much more revenue in the NBA. I think you should look at it in absolute numbers in terms of what they're making, and they are going to get a big increase in this cycle of collective bargaining, and they deserve it.
Here, WNBA.
Okay. He said they're going to get a big raise, but he made a point to say, I wouldn't say share. All right. Revenue share. He just flat said, the quiet part out loud, there's a lot more money being made in the NBA. And the ownership structure is different, right? I mean, if you're an owner and the entire league is all owned by NBA owners, a part of the league is owned, the WNBA is owned by NBA owners. The numbers don't work out for a revenue share. And the players and the players' union seems hell-bent on this. All right? Again, I think the easiest way to do this is take your money and then have a new CBA every 3 years or so. So as the league continues to grow, you go back to the table and you get another pay bump because the revenue has continued to go up. But you can't convince a section of people about this. Now, you've got a section of lunatics out there. I guess they're in the old WNBA fandom that literally believe the NBA is hiding money from the WNBA, or they're not really telling the truth about the amount of money that the league is making off of the WNBA. The only thing I would say is the media rights contract was terrible previously. They were making $60 million a year, and million with an M, all right? It went up to 220, and with some other contracts, it'll be around 260. It's a 4 times increase now. The WNBA's never made a profit, ever. Of which NBA owners were whispering out loud last year. And again, I'm waiting. This is the New York Post, and this article just dropped. I am waiting for the New York Post to drop their article this year about how much the league has lost. They lost $40 million last year. Caitlyn Clark played all last year, by the way. WNBA and the WNBA's Players Association remain at odds, with the current collective bargaining agreement set to expire at the end of the month. WNBA PA Executive Director Terry Carmichael Jackson issued a fiery response in the wake of NBA Commissioner Adam Silver's recent comments regarding revenue share, a key issue for the players, when he said, in part, quote, share isn't the right way to look at it. Quote, when the players opted out a year ago, they made it clear they wanted a salary system that values their labor and allows them to grow with the business they are clearly driving, Jackson said in a statement provided to the Post and other outlets. The league's response has been to run out the clock, put lipstick on a pig, and retread a system that isn't tied to any part of the business and intentionally undervalues players. Now, keep in mind, undervalues players. They're staring at nearly a 4 times salary increase. A 4 time. All right, we're talking about players that are making $249,000 going up to $850 to $1 million. That's a pretty good raise where I come from. That's a gigantic raise where I come from. That's a gigantic raise where I come from when your business don't make a profit and probably should have closed down at one time. You know, a fellow creator told me the other day, you know what the NBA really ought to do? Put it in the CBA that they want to earn all the money back that they've invested all these years prior to these new players getting their raises kicking in. So when the influx of this money all comes in, it goes to the owners first to pay them for their 27-year investment. So I thought that was rather interesting. I mean, you know, hey, I get it. The fact that the league now wants to call any part of its proposal uncapped is precisely why its leadership, transparency, and accountability are being challenged right now. Oh, man, if they're going at Adam Silver, they're going to get destroyed. A WNBA spokesperson, though, adamantly refuted Jackson's statement, calling it, quote, incorrect and surprising to suggest the league didn't offer a uncapped option. Oh, my God. That's the executive director? Okay. I thought that was somebody off the streets of Portland or something. Wow. The comprehensive proposals we have made to the players include a revenue sharing component that would result in the players' compensation increasing as league's revenue increases without any cap on the upside, the spokesperson said. It is frustrating and counterproductive for the union to be making these misrepresentations about our proposals while also accusing the league of engaging in delay. That's simply not true. Woo! So, in other words, we're in a full-on war words now. Back and forth. Jackson said in May she hoped they have made, quote, substantial ground by mid-July All-Star break. But the players' frustration with the lack of progress simmered as the season went on. And, of course, we all know about the Napheesa Collier and Cathy Engelbert feud, right? We all saw that nightmare that went down. The union initially declined to share further comment. A day later, Jackson chimed in, saying WNBA players stand firm in their desires to increase salary connected to a more robust revenue-sharing model that ties their pay to the league's business growth. Quote, they know it's bad when the best they say they can do is more of the same, a fixed salary system and a separate sharing plan that only includes a piece of the pie and pays themselves, the league, back first. And pays the league back first. That they've propped the whole league up. Shouldn't they deserve to get paid back first? Let's be honest. The more you think about it, the more it's like, yeah, that kind of makes some sense. Otherwise, we could just close the whole shooting match and go home. They won't because they understand how valuable Caitlyn Clark is. But if Caitlyn wasn't in the league, it wouldn't shock me if this was the reckoning that the WNBA didn't want. If Caitlyn Clark, I believe, you are watching her in real time having saved this league when they landed the media rights contract. They got that because of her. Not a single solitary two-legged soul that plays in that league besides her. Not one. Not a 4-time MVP or a volume shooting guard or a Victoria's Secret model. Nah. One player out of Iowa. Don't kid yourself. Adam Silver's smart enough to know that's the league's Jordan. So, yeah, we're going to go ahead and do this deal. We're going to do a deal because the owners can see a light at the end of the tunnel finally on making money. But I got to tell you, I think if Clark hadn't showed up, there's a chance this league might have folded, finally. Because the owners were asking the right questions last year. Tell me what you think. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.